like to introduce myself. My name is Shockley. I own and drive this particular race car. As you can see, our major sponsor is Hicks Corporation. With their help, it allows us to travel all over the United States and Canada and campaign this car at different racetracks. We travel about 60,000 miles a year and appear at 60 or 70 racetracks during the racing season. This particular car is called a funny car. The reason it's dubbed a funny car is because of the one-piece fiberglass body. This body is representative of many of the different cars on the market today. This particular one is a replica of a 1982 Mustang II Fastback. Now let's step inside of the Hicks Shockwave and see what makes it tick. The heart of this racing vehicle is a Westinghouse J34-48 jet engine. This engine produces 6,000 pounds of thrust and propels this vehicle to 260 miles an hour in slightly over 6 seconds and a quarter of a mile. This is the fuel tanks for this particular race car. This engine uses approximately 25 gallons of aviation jet fuel per quarter-mile run. This is the fuel control, which is similar to a carburetor on a passenger car. It controls the amount of fuel that the engine gets, the RPMs that the engine runs, etc. This engine is encased inside of a 4130 chromoly chassis. In the event that we have a mishap on board, there's many safety features for the safety of the driver. One of those are the onboard fire system, which the driver can set off from inside of the cockpit. And also the car is equipped with four-wheel disc brakes, special racing tires, and centerline racing wheels. Now let's step around to the back of the vehicle. This is the afterburner for the jet engine. It approximately doubles the power output of a jet engine. This being a jet-powered race car, it's thrust-driven, meaning that the jet blast coming out of the back of the car actually pushes this race car down the racetrack. It doesn't have any transmission or differential like a standard street car does that turns the tires to make it move. At the very high speeds that this vehicle runs, the airflow over the body is very important. We've installed these lures to help break up the airflow over the back of the car so it doesn't try to lift the vehicle at very high speed. This spoiler also creates a downforce at speeds over 150 miles an hour. Once we go through the finish traps at 260 or 70 miles an hour, then we have to try to stop this car. Brakes are of really no use at that high speed, so this vehicle is equipped with some very heavy-duty parachutes. This tow line will withstand 60,000 pounds of force. And this canopy was originally used on an F-104 Starfighter airplane. And it'll pull this car down from 260 or 70 miles an hour to 100 miles an hour in about 3.5–4 seconds. Now that I have everybody inside of the Shockwave, let's make a run. As the engine spins up to approximately 10% on the tach, we turn the igniters on, thusly. We move the engine throttle forward slightly. After the engine lights, it accelerates to about 30% or 3,000 RPM. We turn the ignition off. We wave to the starter and they quit applying electric power to the starter. And the engine will then accelerate to 40% or around 4,000 RPMs, and we've established engine idle. After they've lowered the body down on the vehicle, we do a line show. This line show consists of giant fireballs emitted from the back of the afterburner. This is done by moving the afterburner fuel control handle forward and lighting the mixture with a hot streak ignition system and turning the fuel back off. We also have a system on this car that will emit smoke from the side pipes, which is done by pushing this button. We also have a system on this vehicle to where we can make fire with the side pipes, which is done by pushing this button on the steering wheel. and this button on the dashboard. After we've finished our line show, which consists of numerous fireballs and burner pops, we accelerate the engine by moving this lever all the way forward. Now the engine will be up to 100%, or approximately 13,000 RPMs. As the Christmas tree comes down, which is our starting device that we go by to leave, we flip this lever, which turns on the afterburner fuel, and when it's time to leave, we push this button, and the afterburner lights, and down the course it goes.